This is English Channel. 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 This is English channel.
Hello, everybody.
京都にご来場
Thank you for visiting the ACK Kyoto 2025. This is Yamashita Yukako, the fellow fair director.
BCK として今年
And
から新しく
from this year, we started this new initiative, BCK Fellowship. And this is the first year's award ceremony.
と思います。ACK では
At ACK, from the first year, we tried to contribute to the next generation, and we tried to support the artists as much as possible.
そして、今年はですね
And this year,
が持つ、目標に、賛同していただける
there were great institutions that resonated with our objective. This institution,
いますが、
we have them on the stage. So from 2024,
オープンされま
they
す。
opened a cultural institute, Bangkok Kunsthalle, and Art Collaboration Kyoto are going to create jointly a BCK Fellowship.
に参加す
So
る
these will be all of the artists that are going to be joining ACK. So in addition to financial support, recipients will offered a residency and exhibition opportunity in Bangkok. We hope that this fellowship will broaden artistic perspective throughout the encounters with different cultures and open up new possibilities for creative practice.
それでは早速
So we go straight into the award ceremony for the winners.
しまして
And before we announce the recipients, I would like to introduce the jurors or the jury members. And also, I would like to thank the people who are contributing to the BCK. Our first juror, Marisa Chearavanont.
マリサさんは
Marisa is the owner and the starter of Bangkok Kunsthalle. And second juror is Stefano Raboli Pansera.
ステファノさんはバン
So
コク
Stefano is the director of Bangkok Kunsthalle. And the third juror is artist Hiroshi Sone. Or Yutaka Sone, sorry. And Sone has studios in Mexico, China, Belgium, and Japan, and is active internationally. And lastly, Yamashita, is also one of the jurors for this fellowship. So, we would like to go straight into the award ceremony for the BCK Fellowship.
皆様に発表させていただき
I
たい
would like to,
マリサ
I
さん
would like to invite Marisa to present the awards. So, Marisa, please come up to the stage, to the mic.
それでは早速ですがマリサさん
So, Marisa, please announce the recipients for this year.
It was actually first award, but it was so difficult to select the winners. So instead of one, we decided to select two winners. So first is Takuro Tamayama from the Anomaly. Congratulations. And the second is Kun Wang Shui from the Kurimanzuto. Congratulations.
ぜひ壇上にお上がり
Right, please come up to the stage.
up to the stage 本日ワンシュイさんは
So, Wang Shui, he is currently actively producing his artwork, so couldn't make it to this venue. So, instead, from Kurimanzuto, we have the director, Marek, on the stage on behalf of Wang Shui.
の方
So, once again, I would like to introduce the winners.
会場でも、
And in this ACK, Takuro Tamayama is exhibiting his work in ACK venue as well.
クリマンズットギャラ
And
リー
then from Kurimanzuto Gallery, we have Marek from the gallery.
早速ですが、
So, for the two recipients, I would like to present the award. Sone-san, please come up to the front. So, Sone-san, please present the awards. Congratulations, Tamayama-san. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Sone-san. Now, I would like to have a word from Stefano-san and Sone-san about how you decided. But Stefano-san, Sone-san, can you come up front so that we can have a photographic moment, take commemorative photos? Yes? So, we would like to move on to Sone-san and Stefano-san's comment, who have been a juror for this award. Let's start from Stefano-san.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the extraordinary opportunity to collaborate, Yukako. This conversation started more than 1 year ago, and I have to say that we are all impressed about the quality of the fair, which I consider the best fair in Asia today. Congratulations, is fantastic. And the high quality of the fair is reflected in the sparkling debate that we had with the jurors, because there were so many beautiful artworks and so many relevant and interesting artworks that it was quite a complex and rich conversation. The final choice ended up on two artists that really touch two trajectories of our research with Bangkok Kunsthalle and Khao Yai Art Forest. The first one is about architecture. Later on, I will say and I will describe that in Bangkok Kunsthalle, the curatorial program is architectural project. And this is really something that you touch with your very beautiful work that celebrates the in-between spaces that are left over, that becomes beautiful poetic spaces that really celebrate the tradition of the tea ceremony, these tiny intimate spaces with a very surreal atmosphere. This is actually something that really touched the sensibility of all the jurors. The other artist, Wen Shui, was very impressive because he touched what is the most important concept for Kun Marisa, which is the idea of healing. And it's very rare to meet an artist who is able to combine new technology, contemporary discourse, and healing. Very often we think that the two things are separated. Healing on one side and metropolitan life on the other. Technology and meditation. But I think that Wen Shui really was able to bridge these two sensibilities beautifully in a very contemporary and relevant way. So we really felt the need that both of you are part of this fellowship, and we really hope that we can continue this beautiful collaboration in the future. Thank you very much, and we look forward to welcome you to Bangkok.
ありがとうございます。続いて
Thank you very much.
同じく審査員を
We would also like to have a word from Sone-san as a juror. Yes, so first and foremost,
ACK の方々
I would like to extend my thanks to the ACK organizers and also to Bangkok Kunsthalle staff. And thank you very much for introducing these recipients to Bangkok. And I'm very honored to be the juror for this award. And I am an artist myself, and I think it's really different to be in my art studio and in these kind of fairs. They are a very different environment because this is not where I work. I get to see a lot of different technologies, techniques, and concepts that I have never even thought about. There are a lot of different people's backgrounds, context, and again, it's not from one single city. We have a lot of different things and people from different origins. So it was so difficult to be a judge, a juror.
まあ大変では
And of course, it was difficult. Sure, it was difficult, but so with Wen Sui's piece, to be honest, I was really moved with Wang Shui's art piece because it has this healing in technology. We have algorithms and other new techniques, such as using aluminum as a canvas, or
なんていうのかな
so. How can I express this? So it had this good sense of chaos to it, and also it had this refreshing
こう色と
color palette, and so it's almost like a space that's shown here in this drawing or painting.
そのなんかこう
So
まあ佇まいというかありように
this, I was really moved by the atmosphere that it was creating. Thank you very much. And then, Tamayama-san,
空間ですね
your space.
私見た時
When I first saw this, the first impression that I got
ある企画からこう
is
なんとか変いたいというようなそういうま
it
あ
felt like the artist was trying to change this space. I felt the strong sense that Tamayama-san, you wanted to change the space into what you wanted to create. And then, of course, this is not just like a funny representation of trying to make a new space, but I can see that it was a very sophisticated approach, and you can see there's a deep planning to it as well.
関心
So that really hit my senses. I really felt happy to see that people were really put that much thought into it. So inside of a computer, you can change the space, or like, you know, there are many angled architects. There are many architectures, and you can paint a building that's impossible to create, but it's
こうタッチなんですけども
it looks like that kind of a touch, but it's different. So what Tamayama is doing is, as an artist, I see your strong will to create what you're imagining, and I hope you can continue to thrive and hone your techniques. I'm really moved by both of your works, and personally, I like this in the picture here. See this plastic piece here.
その日常のなんか
No, it looks like a snippet of the daily life. And
まあでもこのプラスチック
but this plastic, I'm sure it was really difficult to make this, right?
とても感動しました
So I was really moved. So again, congratulations.
ありがとうございま
Thank
す。
you very much. So Stefan and Sone-san, please take your seat.
これでですね、受賞者のお二方から
So now I would like to have a comment from the award winners. Let's start from Tamayama-san.
この度はアートフェア
Thank you very much for. So Sone-san said this is a really special environment of an art fair. But thank you very much for the jurors for really seriously looking at our artwork and then criticizing them. Thank you very much. So I create spaces and environments as my art piece. And this Bangkok Kunsthalle is a really exciting place for me because I am creating spaces. And of course, I don't have any plans for Bangkok yet, but I am already excited to think about what I can create there. Thank you.
玉山さん、ありがとうござ
Thank
い
you
ます。
very much, Tamayama-san. Next, we would like to
本人は
let's see. Wansui-san is not here today, so we have received a video message from him.
いただきたいと思います。
Hello. Thank you. It's such an honor to have my work selected amongst such great artworks by so many amazing artists at such a beautiful fair. Artists put in so much love into the work, and so it feels really good to see that at ACK, that same amount of attention and care is put into presenting the works in such a beautiful way. So thank you to Kurimanzuto and to the BCK jury for selecting our project. I'm really excited to see you all in Bangkok, and it'll be Psychic's first visit to Thailand.
改めましてお二方、
So once again, congratulations for the award. And then also these two winners' art pieces. You can see them. Tamayama-san's piece in Anomaly, and then in Kurimanzuto's booth, you can see Wanshui's piece. So during this event, please make sure to enjoy these two winners' art pieces. So once again, thank you very much.
最後に第
So, to conclude the ceremony, I would like to invite Marisa to offer a few final words in celebration of the first edition of BCK Fellowship and its future development. Marisa?
Congratulations again, Kun Takuro-san, and from the Anomaly, and Wang Shui from the Kurimanzuto. Today is a meaningful moment for both Bangkok Kunsthalle and our partners, ACK Kyoto. We are now not to only celebrate our artistic excellence, but the honor of a spirit of friendship and collaborations and beyond the borders. And that's why art remains so vital and deeply in this rapidly changing world. It also marks the rise of a new energy in Asia, bold, unconventional, and ready to engage to the world. Our intention with this collaboration is simple: to open doors and nurture new voices and spark ideas that move freely across borders, and build a community of artists, institutions, and friends who continue to inspire one each other long after tonight. With this award and with the residencies ahead in Bangkok, we hope to plant the seed for the long-term dialogue, not only between Bangkok and Kyoto, but to the world. So, arigatou gozaimasu and khapkunka.
Marisa さん、ありがとう
Thank
ご
you
ざい
very much, Marisa.
ます。
So, with this, we would like to officially close the BCK Fellowship Award ceremony. And after this, together with Marisa and Stefano, we would like to include Remy Jari, the curator and historian, and as well as Kyoto Mori Executive Director of the Mori Contemporary Art Foundation.
お迎えし、このフェローシップだけでなく、
And then they will discuss not only about this fellowship, but also the future potential of various cultural initiatives and forms of support. We invite you to stay and enjoy the conversation. Once again, thank you very much and congratulations.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We wait. Okay.
Yeah, but it's still.
You have your microphone or this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
You give me the sign.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're ready, I can start. But ready? もしご準備よろしければもう始めて。
On and
Then
on
I
and
will
there
pass
is
the
a
mic.
white. This is on.
So, では引き続きこちらからトー
So, we would like to move on to the talk session.
クではカンファレンス機能の充実や
At ACK Talks 2025, we will host 9 talk sessions based on the theme 2050, A Vision Towards the Future. With the aim of enhancing our conference functions and building a community centered on culture and the arts, we will explore new perspectives and values for years ahead. Together with the leading figures in modern art, we will reflect on new values for the future through discussions on themes such as art and everyday life, reinterpreting culture and sustainability, and the relationship between humans and technology. So from here, under the title BCK Fellowship, A Future Fostered by Culture, we welcome Marisa Chearavanont and Stefano Raboli Pansera.
トークからは一般財団
And also, we have Kyoko Mori, Executive Director of the Mori Contemporary Art Foundation and Director of the Mori Art Museum. And Remy Jari, an art historian, curator, and writer. Together, they will discuss how the next generation can be supported and empowered within the world of art.
Good afternoon, everyone. Konnichiwa. Very glad to be here with such a great panel of guests. I just want to have a first word about the title, A Future Fostered by Culture. I think what I find very interesting with our panelists, we'll talk about visual arts, of course, but each of our dear guests also involved in other fields such as music, culinary arts, architecture, and I think it's also a meaningful element here at ACK Art Collaboration Kyoto. It's also about future, as it's indicated, and I mean, instead of doing fortune telling, it's good to look back at what happened in the past. And in that case, of course, Mori Art Museum has a pioneer role and has launched a very great impulse in beyond Japan, obviously, and that's a very interesting and important legacy, obviously. I just find out that Lyon Museum was actually founded in 2004, a year after Mori Art Museum. Very interesting fact. And finally, so looking back at the past, but as discussed with Kun Marisa, it's also a matter of destiny. And I feel like today there is a kind of alignment of planets. So 20 years in between, Mori Art Museum was founded in 2003, Bangkok Kunsthalle 2023, so 20 years exactly. But then you are aligning now with the timing of your respective prize. So I find it very, very interesting, and there is no better place, obviously, than Art Collaboration Kyoto. Yes, Art Collaboration Kyoto to be the platform for this convergence. So that's it. Without further ado, I will let Kyoko-san start the presentation.
皆様こんにちは。
So, hello everybody. My name is Kyoko Mori. And from this year, I am the director of Mori Art Museum. And I am also the executive director of Mori Contemporary Art Foundation.
機会をいただきました。
So, I'd like to take this opportunity to explain about my Mori CAF.
新しい財団のお話をする
So, before I go into our foundation, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Mori Art Museum.
森美術館は
The Mori Art Museum started in 2003 in Roppongi, Tokyo, and it's been our 23rd year now. So, it's the previous chairman of Mori Building, and then Mori Minoru also
旅してみ
visited major cities around the world. And in those cities, there are great musical halls, great museums. So, our founders thought Tokyo also has to be this attracting city that is going to draw a lot of people from around the world. And to do so, we need some sort of a symbol, a cultural symbol that is going to attract people. So, based on those directions,
この建物の最上階に
on the very top of this Roppongi Hills building is the Mori Art Museum.
以来森美術
Ever since, the Mori Art Museum has the vision of contemporariness, the modernness, and international feeling. So originally, we were a museum that did not have a collection.
その時の時代背景
So, as a modern art museum, we wanted to reflect the different times and eras. So, we would have different themes, and then also we would focus on some regions as well in our exhibits. So that's how we have been conducting them. We had over or close to 70 exhibits.
その中にはアジア
So within them, some were focusing on Asia.
いくつかしておりましてここのにご紹介
As you can see here, starting from the left, we have Sun Shower. This is in 2017. It was in 2017, and this was the commemoration of a 50 year of ASEAN. And then we focused on the Southeast Asian modern art. And next,
インドですね NS 春社の、展覧の個展
we had a one-man exhibition of NS Harsha, and then also Vietnam's Dinh Q Le, and then you know Ai Weiwei on the very right. This was in 2009 and garnered a lot of attention. So these three people,
ネットワークを
they used their network that they created through these individual one-man exhibition, and they created this artist supporter group and created the Southeast Asia Collector Circle called CCC. And they would help the artists with the collection.
から20
So, again, 22 years since the opening of the foundation, my mother, Yoshiko Mori, has been the director of the art museum. But during her long career, she has looked at many different overseas art scene. And she noticed Japanese art are really high quality, but it's really difficult to gain attention of the global people, the aficionados. And then also she felt that we don't have enough of a network either. So my mother's view, my vision was, so she thought she wanted to change that situation where Japanese people's art is not known to the world. So to have more Japanese artists, she wanted to support those artists, and then also create a place where those experts can have this interaction together. So apart from the art museum, she wanted to do this as a individually on her. So that is how she created the Mori CAF. Marisa AF, of course, is a short of Contemporary Art Foundation, and we call it MORICAF.
呼んでいます。このマークは
And these marks, these stars, was made by Hara Kenya, graphic designer.
では森カフの活動
So, let's talk about the activities of MORICAF or Marisa AF.
とまず
Starting with, there are two main pillars at MORICAF. Number one is Mori Art Award.
日本の特に
So, this is featuring the medium level artists in Japan. We do this biannually.
これはまず国内のキュレーター
And we would have the domestic curators be they would send in their recommendations, the roster, and then from there we would have the international jury to select the winners. So we will first select the 4 finalists,
は来年の2月になります
and then next February we are going to select the Grand Prix, and then go to the award ceremony.
賞金が1000万円
And the award is 10 million yen, and also together with Mori Art Museum in MORICAF, we are going to use one of the rooms for them to show their pieces.
アワードの国際審査員
And the international jury of this award, they have been working with MoMA, London Tate, and Hong Kong M+, Singapore Art Museum. They have been those who have been working at those museum at the leadership level. So we are utilizing our Mori network to bring in those renowned international jury. So these 4 finalists will be selected. The winner will be selected in person in February, and then one person is going to be selected as a winner.
その日本の現代アートが国際
So this is hopefully going to be a place for a Japanese artist to be assessed by international eyes. And then
の豊富な森美術館の片岡館長、片岡真美が
Kataoka Mami is going to be the head jury. So
されたばかりですので、
we recently had these 4 finalists. So let me just introduce all of them. From left, this is Katayama Mari. And next, that's the collective a group of people from Me. And then Koizumi Meiro. And then on the very right is Yamashiro Chikako. So these 4 are the finalists.
の中からお一人グランプリが決
And
定
then we will select one Grand Prix winner from these 4.
中で重要な賞になって
And I hope this award is going to become famous in the world, and then we can continue on to support the Japanese people going abroad.
そしてもう一つの
Now, this is the other pillar of our activity, which is the Curator Residency Program.
海外で活躍している優秀な
This is, we are going to invite famous and well-performing curators to Japan. They will stay in Japan for a few weeks to a few months, and they will research Japanese art and talk with Japanese artists and experts
理解して
to deepen their understanding of Japanese art. And then they are going to be the bridges to the world.
来日したキュレーター
So these curators that come to Japan, they are going to take their results back, and then they can
に
announce their findings in overseas events and talk about Japanese artists. So you can see in the MORICAF website, we are widely calling for curators. And then we just selected the curators here. So I would like to introduce them, starting from the left, Maria Brewinska. She lives in Warsaw, Poland.
それから今関ゆ
And Imazeki Yukari, she is in London. She is an independent curator.
フィリップ
Next is Philip Piot. He is in Brussels, and he is also an independent curator. And Shinoda Yayoi, she is She lives in America. She's at the Nelson Atkins Museum. She's an associate curator there.
それぞれにもうすでにご自分のプロジェクト、
So they already have their own projects,
レジデンスプログラム
and
得た成果を
through their research results at the curator residency program, they have this place to talk about all their findings in those places. And we are really happy to be able to select these curators. And
たちが
luckily, we were able to select curators from
たちにも
the Western world. But of course, we would like more of the Asian curators to participate in this program so that we can further strengthen our ties with the Asian members.
ぜひこの森カフ
So
森現代芸術財団のプラットフォームを通じて
I hope through our Moricaf platform, we can find new values and interest in the Japanese artists, and then we can send that out to the world. And then also try to create a place where we can have an equal interaction with the artists in the world. So Moricaf will continue to strive to create this place for everybody in Japan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kyoko-san. Very, very interesting presentation, and I like also the seminal work that you have completed at the, and they also introduced about Southeast Asian artists and Pan-Asian artists. I've been fortunate to visit the Naoshima new Museum of Art, and they really follow this. Yeah, so that's very interesting to see this organic development, and we'll continue. Speaking of this organic development, and I'm very pleased to give the microphone to Kun Stefano to explore a bit more about what's happening in Bangkok, beside the BCK Fellowship Prize, of course. Stefano.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. It is a great honor to be in a panel with Mrs. Mori, because the Mori Museum and the Mori Contemporary Art Foundations are a model for what we are doing. And very often with Kun Marisa, we discuss about inspiring museums, inspiring initiative, and very often we use the Mori Museum as an example of what we would like to achieve. And it's important to highlight some specific aspects of Bangkok. And it's wonderful that the city offers unique opportunities, unique conditions that are very rare to find anywhere else in the world. The project really stems from the extraordinary vision of Kun Marisa and the notion of healing that we are really trying to decline in several aspects and several forms that are really responsive to the site and to the conditions of what Bangkok is today. I would like to start with a few numbers that are always very inspiring. Bangkok is a world capital with 14 million residents and more than 30 million tourists per year. So it is really a phenomenal anthropic center that really aims to become one of the leading cultural forces, not only for Southeast Asia, but to really have a very distinctive voice globally. And this is really the motivation that pushed and inspired Kun Marisa to set up a project, which is first and foremost a geopolitical project. The idea is really to contribute and to give voice to Thai creativity and Thai talent, to really put Thailand on the map of a global art world. Because up to a few years ago, I would say the situation is changing very fast, but up to a few years ago, Thailand was at the margin of the art world. And in the recent years, there was an extraordinary development of ideas, initiatives that really give voice to the talent that was already in Thailand. And this picture really shows the extraordinary potential of Thailand. This used to be the most important publishing house for textbooks in Thailand. It's a building that all Thai people indirectly know because they all studied on the books printed here. And when Kun Marisa saw this building in the center of Bangkok, she really felt the calling for healing and the calling for taking care of this building. And this calling is precisely the driving force of Bangkok Kunsthalle. The first thing that I would like to highlight is the name. There are two foreigner names, because the real name of Bangkok is a Gruntep, and the idea of a museum, the name of museum in Thai language would be Pipitapan. But if we call it Gruntep Pipitapan, not many people would understand what you're dealing with. So we decided to actually choose two foreigner names, Bangkok Kunsthalle, that are matched with the other symmetric project to Bangkok Kunsthalle in the middle of the jungle called Khao Yai Silapa, which means Khao Yai Art Forest. So we have an international name and a Thai name. And when we started doing the research of the building, we discovered beautiful images of something which is not really a building, but is a compound of three different buildings that were destroyed by a devastating fire in the early 2000s, in 2001. For more than 20 years, this building was left abandoned, and it was actually just acquired in 2003 by Marisa. And when we started doing the studies on the history of the building, we realized that this is a compound of three different buildings that reveal like the progressive growth of the activities and the urban block, with three distinctive buildings, building A, building B and building C, that are still detached one from each other. This is already interesting because it is not a building but a community of building. And this actually was the state of the building when we acquired it. When Marisa acquired it, it was actually quite rough. It was really a ruin. But there was like a glorious beauty about it. And this is something that artists immediately appreciated. And when walking through the building, we really discovered like beautiful surfaces that were really shaped by the rain, by the heat, by humidity. It was really an artwork on its own. And in a few years, we really tried to give a completely different approach to what a cultural institution could be in Southeast Asia. And this happened through a very simple idea that really stemmed from the desire that Marisa had to feed artists and creativity. Because instead of calling architects to restore the building, we decided to really embrace a new notion of healing, which is about domesticating the building. You know, when you have a pet and you domesticate the pet, you transform the little animal, and at the same time, the pet changes you. It's like a mutual transformation. And this is actually what is really beautiful about domestication, that or by healing in general, that while healing the other person or the context, we heal ourselves. And this becomes a beautiful situation that was beautifully described by a poet, a Russian poet, Osip Mandelstam, when he said that when he was writing his poems, he was a flower and gardener at the same time. And this is really the most beautiful definition that we can say about collecting, about art sharers. That is actually the new position that we would like to assume. These are some images of the exhibitions that we did, starting from the first year with Michel Oder, an extraordinary video artist that spread the videos throughout the Kunsthalle. And thanks to him, we were able to domesticate the ground floor of the building. Every artist creates an exhibition, and based and according to the requirements of the artist, we build the necessary infrastructure. So it is not really about preserving everything, it's not about transforming, but it's about really inhabiting and dwelling the building. These are some images of the beautiful exhibition of Michel. And you see that bit by bit we transform the building, and this diagram shows how every exhibition affects the building. Nostalgia for Unity. This was the most impressive intervention in the major exhibition area we have. We invited a Thai artist, Korakrit, to transform the building and to create a beautiful floor that is almost a metaphor of what we are doing, a floor made of ashes. So the installation is like the phoenix, the building that is reborn out of its own ashes. sorry. Yeah, and the ashes were actually produced or found in the books that were still left in the building after 20 years. The building, the floor was actually defined by a text that the artist embossed, and became some sort of prayer or ritual in the building, in building C. The next artist is a celebration of the collaboration between Thai and Japanese culture. We work with Yoko Ono with a beautiful installation of the man piece. And again, this is a metaphor of healing, is a metaphor of taking care through community and through playful behavior of the community. This introduces an important element in the curatorial trajectory, because we want to invite the city to get into the building. And it was remarkable how visitors spend even up to 3 hours working, recomposing the fragments to produce these beautiful little sculptures that were constantly transforming the interior of the space. And finally, we worked with a brilliant Thai artist for a film program that allowed us to transform a room into a large screening room that is constantly, still now, used as a projecting and screening room. This is a very interesting example, because it is becoming clear how the architectural intervention is led by artists, and how each intervention affects and transforms the building, sometimes permanently, like in this case. In 2025 program, we had already extraordinary artists like Richard Nonas, an artist that opened the MoMA PS1 in the 70s. And when we installed these beautiful minimal sculptures, the family called us and they said that the feeling of this installation reminded them the opening of MoMA PS1 in the 70s, which is, from my point of view, the biggest compliment that we could have received. It was, of course, challenging and hermetic installation, and many people were puzzled, but we believe that it is our responsibility not only to invite the audience, but to challenge it with difficult exhibitions that really trigger discourse, conversations, curiosity, and so on. And another groundbreaking exhibition was Calligraphic Abstraction, the work by Tan Chang, the most important abstract painter from Thailand. The exhibition was the restoration laboratory. In this case, we replaced the lights with the exact lights that the restorers wanted to do, and the entire duration of the exhibition was the duration of the restoration of this beautiful work. Again, a metaphor of what healing could be. This is an image of the other side of the exhibition with beautiful works on paper that really recall exercises in Japanese calligraphy, Chinese calligraphy, and meditation. And this is an ongoing restoration lab that was really effectively the performance. And we worked again with artists from Asia, artists from Thailand, artists from China, like in this case. And for us it's important not only the nationality of the artist, but the capacity or the possibility of the artist to embrace Thai spirit. And sometimes we have foreigner artists that can be more Thai than Thai, paradoxically, because they really embrace Thai mindset and Thai spirit. And I think that this is quite important because in a globalized world, to be anchored to a geographic location can be dangerous and sometimes counterproductive. Thailand is a state of mind, it's not just a country. Italy is a state of mind, Japan is a state of mind, and it's wonderful that the prizes that we are discussing offer the artists and curators the chance to think otherwise. Chef Fan is a brilliant painter and a brilliant chef, and this is a wonderful way to celebrate Thai culture, because food is so important in Thailand and is really a main cultural force. We did events, and the exhibition itself was some sort of happening. We work with very young artists with beautiful installations. This is Poetics of Horizontality, two young students of art that rearranged all the fragments of the building into some sort of stone garden, which was very inspiring. And finally, we work with curators locally, like Yung Lai, and we work with constant artists in residence. Spencer Sweeney, who is just having a beautiful studio inside the Kunsthalle. We work with Mark Chearavanont, a brilliant young curator who is actually collecting urban signs from the context of Chinatown, where we are, and he rearranges in order to reveal some sort of urban syntax, a new urban language in the space. And finally, Stephanie Comilan, a young, upcoming, brilliant artist based between Manila and New York. And finally, Absalon, our next exhibition. We are going to open it in December, so in a few weeks. And it's the first time that we organize this exhibition in Thailand. We, like the Mori Contemporary Art Foundation, we nurture Thai talent. We send artists, Thai artists abroad for residencies, and we invite artists to come here. We have a vibrant program of activities, lectures, events that invite the community to participate with us as much as possible. I pass quickly because I don't want to take too much time. And we finally started with the great support of Marisa of a program of artists in curators in residencies. And this actually is a very similar and resonates what you are telling us. When we invite international curators to Thailand, we break the insularity, the cultural insularity of Thailand, because curators are so inspired and mesmerized by the richness of Thai talent. Luca Lopinto from Rome, Teddy Williams, one of the most important living filmmakers. And I will not probably disclose too much of the 2026 program, because I really hope that we will be able to welcome you in Thailand. It is a beautiful country, and it will be wonderful to welcome you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kun Stefano, and I definitely agree, living in Bangkok for the last 10 years. Indeed, it's a very interesting parallel, because both of your institution initiative have very much a 360 degrees approach, artist, but also curator that could relay. And I find very interesting that Philippe Pirot was the curator of the Busan Biennale in Asia, yes. So I think this kind of impulse could be followed, and not only at the level of artists, but further on. And for those who have visited Thailand, I'm sure looking at the Bangkok Kunsthalle, you perceive this aesthetics. And discussing with Kun Stefano, there is also something for Japanese that could emerge, the wabi-sabi. I think is a very much a core element, letting this building, you know, having its whole life. As you said, the water, anything. And more than that, I think from a curatorial perspective, I've been fortunate to see most of your exhibition. Korakrit Arunanshai show was really, really special, because the artwork was on the floor. So exploding the Western canon, I would say. And I was actually walking barefoot to really experience. And that was also an interesting, those who knows Thai culture, there is a complex relation with, yeah, that's something I wanted to highlight, and of course, nothing to do with the white cube. So that's, and the last touch point with Japanese culture is, of course, the kintsugi that you show up with Yoko Ono share. But let's start the Q&A, unless you want to have a first word. Kun Marisa, please.
Actually, Stefano was well explained what our program is. But actually, the Bangkok Kunsthalle, it's the institution that it breaks all the molds that what other people expecting that what the Kunsthalle is supposed to be. As he said, this building, the first that I would like to create the Art Institute wasn't Bangkok Kunsthalle. It was a Khao Yai Art Forest, which he didn't mention at all. because now we are living really is such a chaotic, divided. I mean, we really don't know what will happening, especially after post-AI era. So during the COVID, what I realized is what is life, and we are so vulnerable in front of the nature, and we were really nothing, and we were so scared and fragile. So I kind of think that the nature, we have to taking care of the nature. We have been exploited nature for so long, and now is a time to taking care of the nature. And how? And during the COVID is the period that I receive a lot of positive energy and the healing during this, kind of unknown and very critical time that I actually founded the two foundations. So before we were talking about, often people call me, I'm not a serial startup founders, but serial foundation founders, because my art project is my fourth foundation. Before, it was a Chef Cares Foundation to promote Thai gastronomy to the world with the Thai compassion. Before, I found the Raksayam Foundation, which is I would like to preserve the Thai, the handicrafts and cultures. And the first, longest one is Bill Foundation. I built a school for the hill tribes. Now hill tribes to become more marginalized. So I think that to helping others, to try to to contribute what I have as a resources. It's a part of in me. And the last one was the art, because I feel that when I moved back to Thailand 8 years ago from living in 21 years of Hong Kong, that Thailand have everything. Thailand is our second largest industry is tourism. We have a beautiful sightseeing. We have so many 5 to 6 star hotels, 5 to 6 star shopping malls, amazing food scenes. But what we lack was art, especially contemporary art. We didn't have much art institution. We have a few, but it wasn't that, I can say, significant in the international scene. Thailand was never been in the international map, geopolitical map on the contemporary art. So when I moved back, the first thing I wanted to do was I would like to connect Thai art and bridging to the international art for both, for the Thai artists and Thai citizens, also for the international tourists to come to see the amazing Thai art scenes. That's how I start the Khao Yai Art Forest. And we've been working for three years. And Khao Yai Art Forest is, it was a kind of exploited by the refugee from the north for the flood. And they cut a lot of tree, and they did a monoculture farming for 4 decades. So all the soil was very depleted. But I bought that land at forest, and then we try to do reforestating, and we put the art in, because again, when we're talking about healing, I think that we all need healing in our own, whether we are successful, we are capable, we are famous, we are content, still there are something void in our heart. And especially nowadays, I think we need them more than ever about the healing. So when we talk about the healing, I can connect right away, it's about nature. Because nature has a lot of energy to give. So with this, I decided to install the art. Actually, the installation is not a really good word, but I invite the artist and to stay in the forest and be inspired and to create artwork. Only 2 conditions. One is everything about positiveness, everything about hopeful, everything about healing. And then second is I want the artist using all the medium they can find in the land, not import, not transport from the far away, but what they can find. So they can find air, light, water, breeze, wind, and the soil, and wood and stone. So that is the medium they can use. It is challenging for some artists, but some artists love it because it is such a refreshing, and they really are excited to try to work on. In fact, the first our artist was Fujiko Nakaya. That's why I think we have quite a affinity to Japan. She is an amazing artist, 92-year-old. When she working to start, she was 90. She came multiple times. She's a perfectionist, as you know, and she created the biggest installation in her history, 4 hectares of the work. So again, this is about the healing because the water, the mist, I believe it is when we engulfed by the fog, it is a time that we can let it go of our scars, anxieties, responsibility and stress, and it's a 12 minutes installation, and also at the end, we can get all the blessing from the water. So we have a lot of work and everything, it's without saying, visitors come and to try to connect and communicating it. Every artwork. So what I'm trying to do is art as a medium of healing that I would like to contribute. Bangkok Kunsthalle is also very, very same meaning. We are healing the building, but we're healing the artist also through going through all these exhibitions. So, this is a kind of new paradigm of the art. But, I think that this is a very important part of the art.
Thank you very much, Kun Marisa. You actually anticipate perfectly my question, and then I will turn myself to Kyoko-san. And so with this new art award, what is actually the gap that you have identified and that you would like to address? Please.
Hi.
Right. Thank you very much for the question. So before I go to that, I just wanted to comment a little bit on Marisa. That Kauai Art Force, I want to go there right now and be healed myself. So this art award again. So back to your question. There are young and upcoming artists, and there are a lot of support for those young artists. But for medium class, middle class artists, there aren't too much support for them to go to the world, go global. So I think that was our theme or gap that we found. So we were trying to help those medium class artists to go global, and that's how I created this art award.
Very interesting. And have you looked on that point, the initiative of Takashi Murakami? I've heard that Kai Kai Kiki was actually a commercial parallel of this. Was it part of your reflection, Kai Kai Kiki?
No, it's not necessarily related to Kai Kai Kiki. So I did not, it's not like a parallel of it. But in terms of how I was inspired, was that the question?
Just elaborating, you reminds me of the process, but I'll move to the next question. How do you define, and I will turn to you after, how do you define the success for this future prize? Do you have already anticipated? So it's planned for February, as you mentioned. We have the finalists. How that will be, let's say, the next step, the second edition, of course, but then the future of and the success story that you anticipate for this prize?
Right. So first of all, the prize money is big, so that's one of the big supports financially. And then we are going to let them use one of the rooms of a more museum, so that they can show their artwork, and then that will be a chance for them to be known to the world. And
そのアーティストで
why? So
がこの人だということを
why? I think we wanted to show that these are the artists that the global audience have to be careful about. That's why we are choosing them, for the global audience to know that that they should be paying attention to them. And then, so in terms of, I think we wanted to also explain the cultural reason behind why you have to be careful about those audiences, the artists.
Kun Marisa, so but like we have this seminal day today. So yes, how do you project the next step of and to maintain, to sustain, and to also let it bloom?
You know, the award is it was born in the BCK award born in Kyoto, but imagine we award Chinese artists who working in New York, and actually working for the Mexican gallery, and to come to Thailand, and the Japanese artist also, you know, from maybe Japan to come to Thailand. It's already can connect a lot of that beyond the Kyoto and Thailand, Kyoto and Bangkok. I really hope that, you know, Bangkok is a very, very vibrant city and full of cultures, multicultures actually. So, you know, staying for a month in Bangkok and in our studio, probably they will, they will absorb a lot of different kind of cultures from beyond what they've been before. I think that these artists, hopefully that it was the first time for them, and hopefully they can make something, the new chapters of his own. We are giving a lot of challenges actually, but you know, maybe he can move up to the another level from these opportunities.
I think that what I was very impressed that both the Mori Prize and the BCK Prize Fellowship focus on young artists. And I think that this is actually the most beautiful way to celebrate the word future, fostered by culture, which is a title. Generally, prizes are given to all artists to celebrate what they achieved in their life. We are risk takers. We give prizes to very young artists because it's not about celebration, it's about opening up possible futures. And this is actually a completely different form of prize, because both of our institutions in a way take risks. You know, they are very promising artists, they are wonderful, but this actually is not about celebrating their success. They're in their 30s, you know, they just started their careers. This is an invitation for them to really embrace new conditions and to produce, invent new futures. I think that very correctly, Kun Marisa said that I focus on Bangkok Kunsthalle only, because BCK is Bangkok Collaboration Kyoto. I really hope that next year we are going to have BCK Fellowship and KCK Fellowship, Kaoyai Collaboration Kyoto, so we can expand not only Bangkok Kunsthalle but even Kaoyai.
Yeah, and they're very much Thai-Japanese offspring. It's very much hybrid indeed. Moving on, and then Kyoko-san, you already mentioned the main elements of the process, but whatever you would like to add about the jury, the selection process, if you have maybe on the particular selection that you have completed so far, in case you want to add anything. Artistic process, the selection process.
Yes, thank you very much for the question. In terms of the selection process, regarding the jury, I explained who they are, but these jurors, the judges, they are really international, and then they have really seen so many different art in international scene. So I understand that we are asking to be judged for really high stake people. But in terms of the selection process, we look at culture, gender, location, and what media and what processes they're using. So sure, those are like the main elements that we look at. And we look at the quality of art itself, how strong of a message it contains. Those are probably the main axes of evaluation. And then, of course, we have meeting minutes of how we have come to those selections. We want it to be as transparent as possible in our selection.
Thank you very much. And yeah, it's also followed by an exhibition. So that's so important for the artist. And interviewing also like established artists, I've been often told that their very first prize was life-changing for them. Opening doors, but also confidence to say, okay, now I reach a certain level, I have this institutional, and that was the awkward parallel I made with Kaikai Kiki, because I remember Takashi Murakami find out that for young artists, it was very difficult to start on the market. So then he launched this gallery. So that was my point. But could Marisa, could Stefano, please, the process you already mentioned some elements.
Basically, for us, first of all, it's always wonderful to create a group of people selecting the artists, because for us it's inspiring the conversation and the dialogue. Yukako is phenomenal. Yutaka is a bomb of energy, and he has always a different point of view because he's an artist. For us, it's important to highlight that we did not choose the best artist, because there is no best or not best. What we chose are the artists that we think are compatible with Kun Marisa's vision, healing, and are compatible with the specific conditions that we offer. And I stress this point because there are extraordinary artists, but it's not really about choosing the best, it's choosing what would be instrumental to and suitable and complying with our vision. So this was actually the criteria. Yeah. And I really love the fact that we are building futures and we are nurturing futures.
That's why we have we call the Thai style on the fifth, means that we have a fifth floor on the Bangkok Kunsthalle, and that floor is a full space for the young Thai artists. And sometimes they come, they curate it themselves, or we also helping the curator from outside to curate for them. So that is a space for the young Thai artists. So we try to provide whoever comes that they can meet Thai young artists exhibitions on the fifth floor in the Bangkok Kunsthalle. It's actually same kind of notion that we try to fully support Thai young artists to having a stage.
And elaborating on that, my next question is the following. On the long term, so we already project ourselves, but do you consider that there are any measurement, any, let's say, criteria that could be used on the long term to accompany and maybe also possibly to rectify maybe the orientation? How do you, let's say, manage the price in that case?
Yes, so regarding the assessment, we just started this out as an initiative at Moricaf. So next year, we are going to have our first Grand Prix winners, so we will think about how to measure that success in long term. But like I said before, I hope this award is going to be a life-changing, very important first award for them so that they can soar to the world. And so that will be our long-term vision. And then we look at reference awards such as domestically, they will be internationally, we're looking at the Turner Award from UK, and France, Marcel Duchamp Award. That's another award for the future generation. And at the Mori Museum, we have the Dusan Award, Turner Award, we have their exhibitions. So one day, hopefully, the Mori Art Award winners, hopefully we can have their exhibits as well.
Thank you very much. For you, like on that day, any?
Well, I think that the world is full of extraordinary prizes. I mean, we are in Japan, and Premium Imperiale is the probably most prestigious and important prize globally. It's a prize, of course, that celebrates talent that are internationally recognized as such. From my personal experience, the biennial still remains a fundamental prize, even because it really changed, for example, my career from architecture to art. And it was really a prize that was given when I was still very young, and it really changed my career. So I really hope that the Turner Prize, Duchamp Prize, Furla Prize for the women, prizes like the Mori or like the Fellowship of BCK help artists to have a turn in their career that is unexpected. And it's not by chance that these initiatives were conceived by two ladies. The idea of the future, the idea of nurturing, comes from women. So it's girl power.
And motherhood, if I may add. Yeah, thank you very much for that. We will have the last question as time going very, very fast. So we focus on the follow-up with the artists, but what about the social impact? What about beyond the actual creation of artists, their career, but from a wider perspective, how do you position this prize, like in the society, in a country and beyond?
はい、
Right. So let me think. These art awards that we create, and we select the finalists, we will choose the Grand Prix, and we are disseminating to the world that these are the Japanese upcoming artists that you should look at. So it's not only to boost their awareness, but I think it's also to widen the base of modern art fans. We want to involve the entire society so that they gain more interest in the modern art world. So to gain more awareness, that's why we are talking here at these kind of occasions. And then also we would like to, we are hoping people would have more interest in the selection of the final winner next year.
And I feel that's very much into the vision of Mori Art Museum to really place a museum in the whole city ecosystem. And yeah, thank you very much. Kun Marisa, Kun Stefano. That will be the final word.
Yeah, I loved very much this idea as an architect of an institution that changes a city. When I look specifically at Bangkok Kunsthalle, I can see it as a curatorial program, a curatorial project. I can see it as an architectural project simultaneously. And I can see it as an urban project of regeneration of the entire neighborhood. So we work simultaneously at three different scales: the interior, curatorial, architectural, and urban, and geopolitical. So 4 different scales simultaneously. When we talk about impact on the community, I have to say that there are remarkable things. We can produce everything in Bangkok Kunsthalle within 200 meters from Bangkok Kunsthalle. In Chinatown, we have steel workshops where they do neon, metal works, timber works, which is completely beyond imagination. You know, we have like tiny shops that are like 5 meters by 5, like a tea room ceremony dimension, and they can produce remarkable sculptures that we install. The neon, for example, by Emma McCormick Goodart is 7 meters high, and it was produced in a tiny workshop which is 5 meters by 5. So we still do not know how they managed to do it. This, for me, is about the social impact. We often talk about museums as dispositives tools to regenerate the city, but very often they become tools to gentrify the city. How can we actually distinguish between them? How can we regenerate without gentrifying? In other words, how can we be inside but against? And the fact that we have such a radical position, we are aware of it. We discuss a lot about this idea of being so rough, is a way to really try to maintain this beautiful craftsmanship, to maintain this local tradition. Every time we do an opening in the Kunsthalle, we invite the street food restaurants around the Kunsthalle, which is completely unheard of. We still invite artists to film the local activities and the traders that are in the street where we operate, which is not just a form of preservation, but it is a form of healing and a form of nurturing, protecting the future for things that could disappear. So this, I think, what is a very specific form of a social impact that we have in Chinatown.
And also, Thailand, there are a lot of, the places, but actually it's all indoor, and mostly the young people spend the most of time in the shopping malls, unfortunately. We have a huge shopping mall culture because it's hot, and now shopping malls are so well developed, they have everything. They have a food, they have, of course, the people that meet there, they even go and study there. They're upstairs, there's a lot of tutor centers. So this is kind of breaking what their lifestyle is. So we have a lot of young people coming in, and or even the neighbors, Chinese, they are very frugal. So sometimes they don't even have air condition nearby, all this town. So the neighbors coming in, not because of their interest in art, because we just have a cool air condition inside. So they're coming in, they explore, they pretend that they're looking something, and but actually there are some of them, they come and then watching the movie. We have a cinema hall because we would like to also encouraging our young talents to be in the more, because we have a lot of cinematographer, videographer, but it was not commercial, so they couldn't survive and they changed their job. So this is a kind of space that they can to explore their own creativity. And the people coming in all these uncles and aunties coming in, and in the beginning they feel out of place. But slowly, they watching a cinema, and they actually Yoko Ono, they were participating many days comes, and they realize that they are not bad at all as an artist. They can be very creative and then encourage and come back again. So this is, I can say that Bangkok Kunsthalle is not just only for art enthusiasts or students, but this is for everyone, every community, and coming in. And I always said, this is the way that, like Montessori of education. They don't think that they are participating in art, but actually, without knowing, they do. So that is the things that I love to do, and to try to connect, the people, because they think that the art is only belong to elitists, which is not true. So this is one of the important roles that we are providing, and we try to do.
Please, Kyoko-san, you just mentioned something very interesting. Yeah, please.
Masani, it's actually mother's idea, I think.
And this change of paradigm, yeah, that's as an educator, for example, teaching. That's also what I try to do, to change the way young people look at art, and especially those who feel like they are not somehow targeted or not meant to understand it. So I think it's very interesting. And for both of your institutions, I also find that historically we often speak about temple here with the right city for that. Temple as a landmark of cities, but since the 20th century or even 19th century, I very much think that museum become those forum and those landmark in the urban landscape. So we still have time actually. So if you would like to actually elaborate on this elements of you know, the institution this time in a historical landscape such as Tokyo and respectively in Bangkok. How would you position and see to elaborate a little bit on this point? I remember my first time in Japan, 2011. I ran to the Mori Art Museum. Not even 10 years after the opening, it was already the landmark for contemporary art. So, and I was actually also surprised to see it so high in as a floor. That was probably, it's still the highest museum, I guess, in the world. Yes. So, museum as a landmark, is it something that you is important for you in a city? I mean.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Yes, thank you for the question. So, like I said before, the founder, Minoru Mori, his vision was to make the city better. He would like to renovate Tokyo. It was his life work to rejuvenate Tokyo. So in that sense, I think he succeeded in creating a symbol, a landmark of Tokyo. So normally when you think about it, we are at the top of the skyscraper, and commercially thinking, that is the penthouse. It's where you can lend it to with the highest rent. But we used that as a museum, so you can see how much of a commitment it is, because it's such a financial loss. But again, I think it's such a contribution to the society. And like Remy felt that it was an inspiring place. So I am glad that now that after 23 years, our museum is being loved by so many people in the world. And I think it's a great success.
Also the neighborhood you mentioned, the neighborhood, Roppongi, isn't it, has really reached the level of reno that used to be associated with art. So would you like to share some thoughts about this, also at the scale of a whole neighborhood?
はい、
Yes. So how should I say this? Roppongi is, before Roppongi Hills was made, it was a little bit of a different taste of the city, where it was more known for its nightclubs and, how should I say this? It was a place for people to enjoy nightlife. But with the establishment of Roppongi Hills, we were able to create more cultural institutions, and then we were drawing in a different type of people. And then we had the Shinbijutsukan Museum and a National Museum, and then also in Roppongi Midtown we had the Suntory Museum, and then we also have a design museum called 2121. So we now have more art establishments, and we call it the Art Triangle in Roppongi. And thanks to that, we now have more galleries. So right now, there is this gallery building right next to Roppongi Hills. So now people think if you want to see art, go to Roppongi. So it's like a go-to location for art lovers.
Thank you very much. And I think it's also very clear in Bangkok. I mean, Chinatown, and I mean the Ghost Festival that is launched by Correct.
Actually, yes. We are also kind of gentrified the Chinatown, Yawalat. But I also would like to say that Mr. Mori, the founder, really he's visionary, and he created this museum in the urban planning. And actually now every major real estate company are benchmarking, including Thailand. We do have, One Bangkok is, to try to be very involved in art, and also Icon Siam. They are planning to open next year also kind of art space. So I completely is a forerunner, and as you know, it's a kind of world phenomena that a lot of major real estate development are using the art is a part of to create the value to the real estate market. So I mean, it's a great job, and not just only just a value, but how much impact can give to the citizens. I mean, this is cannot be countable. I mean, accountable for the value it is.
Indeed, because there are two levels, like there are property developers that just use it as a cosmetic initiative to boost the value. Yeah, I remember in the Netherlands, Amsterdam, it has been officially, the museum was opened really for elevating the price of the residential area. So indeed, it has to be infused in the DNA as it has been at the Moriart Museum. We still have some time, so whatever element we are to 6, so we've been very, very good with the question, but if there is some blind spot, things that we haven't covered so far, we're happy.
Probably from the audience, if
and
there
also,
are questions from the audience. I'm sure that Claudia has questions.
I think maybe something that I'm curious about, and it was also addressed in yesterday's panel, about, in a way, measuring the impact without wanting to, I guess, quantify it or reduce it to numeric values. And I've been thinking a little bit about our conversation also a couple of days ago. And so how do we go maybe from the experience of a ritual, a ceremony, approaching again the sacred, even in the midst of all the chaos, and help people to transition it into their own practices? Is that something that you consider? Because this moment, I think we all know it very well. When we step into a museum, we're in awe. When we step into a temple, we're in awe. But then how do we enable the presence of this in people's lives beyond?
Yeah, thank you for the questions, because I think that one of the most beautiful experiences in Kyoto is really the experience itself of the artworks in these beautiful environments and in unique settings, where again the ritualistic, religious value of art happens again. Today, Kun Marisa and I were in a temple, and Kun Marisa beautifully said, this is how we should experience art all the time. Because this meditative environment inspires a specific mood, which is not about the white box, is not about the museum and so on. And this is probably where institutions like Bangkok Kunsthalle are trying to push the architectural discourse. We rarely have paintings. And when we have paintings, it's like ultimately a restoration lab. It's not even exhibiting the painting as a finished product. We are more interested in production rather than product. And this is becoming a form of healing, but is almost a form of a ritual as well, because it implies an activity, not just a passive contemplation to the object. And I think that this idea of the ritual that you're mentioning can be very inspiring as a mission for new institutions.
Maybe this is a little bit different sense, but when they come to Bangkok Kunsthalle, they experience the artist in action, means in the production. And when they're coming in, it's not a final product, but it's a process. And sometimes they come and then talk to the artist, and usually the artists are very welcomed and very hospitable in explaining their work. And that experience and that moment for us is very valuable, because again we are trying to kind of beyond of what the conventional way of museum was Kunsthalle. We are showing everything else. So the restoration the same. It was a completely meditative effort. So when you come, everybody start to whisper. So when there restoration, it's a kind of ritual. Nobody say that you have to be quiet, but when they're concentrating the restoration, people coming in walk very gently around, and people, if they have to talk, they're only whispering. Very similar sense of when we visited the old temple, or we were in the we're in the car, we were talking loud, but when we are in the temple, suddenly we're respectful. And then every room to room, we have to bow because we are afraid that we will hit our head, and we will bow and become humble ourselves. So I think that in a way, the ritual is many different ways. The ritual is actually from our heart. So I think that even us, we are not talking about the Khao-Yai art, but in the Bangkok Kunsthalle, it is in a way that how we're going to creating that people think it's automatically to coming into their own ritual to appreciate the art.
And I find very interesting, I mean, the fact that there was fire that has partly destroyed the Kunsthalle, the Bangkok Kunsthalle, but you could still feel it. And in a city here where we have fire meditation, I have this kind of a irrational but very deep impression. And to maybe complete this, I've been really inspired by an article by Michel Foucault that was published after his death. He coined the idea of heterotopia, and he's developing a parallel between religious space like temples, churches, mosques, any kind of and museum. And I really feel like there is this deep, deep, deep connection. In English, I think it's on other spaces, but the core concept is heterotopia. Those places that follow very different rules. And what you mentioned, I mean, the silence, for example, this has been built up over centuries and practice. I remember at the National Gallery in London when it was first open, visitors were picnicking in the museum. So it's a long, long process, and then we have developed to, I think, also a very spiritual level. And I will end up with this, Naoshima Island. I mean, you really have this, it's, yeah, almost like a shrine, I would say, art shrine. And I think they do use the term art shrine, which I think is definitely an overstatement. Would you have other questions in the assembly? We can still take, yes, question, don't be shy. So if not, then thank you very much. Please, yes, join me to thank our dear guest.
それでは改めまして登壇者の皆様ありがとうございました。
Okay, once again, thank you very much to the panelists. The ACK talks, we will continue tomorrow to have more themes and talks. And this talk will also be available online, and it will be archived. So please continue to enjoy ACK talks. Once again, thank you very much.